fantastic last game against Michigan State, especially in that two-man game with her and Caitlin Clark screening for each other, finding one another. Stuelke
playing well offensively at Purdue. Good-looking shot. Petticourt missed the first one. Into the lane. Davis with an open find, and that's
transition D.
Petticourt way off on the three, so back-to-back shots. Well, they know the environment too. Clark again into the lane. No whistle, no foul. We're in back-to-back seasons. Clark with her first triple. It was off balance. They did a nice job.
Because there was a pass down low to the paint, forces the defense to have to shift and gives your shooters open opportunities on the perimeter.
Clark got through, and she is fouled. And so Caitlin Clark and her 31 points a game. Hoping to go back-to-back Final Fours, and she said, look, it never gets old what happened against Michigan State because it's just too much fun.
It's a blast. It was the #1 play on SportsCenter Top 10. I mean, Caitlin Clark has become a universal figure in the game of basketball. Not just women's basketball, basketball as a whole. And I tell you what.
Thompson right back down the floor. So transition for Rutgers. Clark's shot might have been blocked. It's tapped around, which is what the conversation was, but I thought it was tipped on the rebound too. Clark again for three, and she has started 0 of 3 from three. Adams' first look at the basket. That is something Rutgers does very well is offensive rebound, and Iowa was very focused on that at shoot-around today. Iowa, though, a very good defensive rebounding team. Caitlin Clark into the lane. She's fouled. And Megan, that is #2 on Destiny Adams early.
Was that offensive rebounding component, Destiny Adams? It looked like she got there in time. Iowa has one less aggressive post player to have to worry about for Rutgers, but regardless, they have to focus on getting a body into somebody on the defensive end, creating the space.
No Kayleen Schmeichel, out indefinitely with what is being called a medical issue. Bates back in the floor. She did not play the other day. Coach's decision, but she is back, and she is on the floor trying to mark Clark. Could not do it. She got into the lane. And the rebound is tapped out of bounds back to Rutgers. The team's point total. Stuelke tried to rip the rebound out of bounds. And that looked like it was off Iowa. There was a conversation. You wanted to call foul, no foul called. That looked like it was off of Iowa.
Let's take a look here.
Well, maybe not. That's up.
Last second.
Yeah.
That one went off of
play analysis.
Listen, it's always good to have a replay camera. That's the best part about it.
Stuelke down the floor. Top three. And Rutgers doesn't shoot a ton of threes, but they are settling here for some of the first quarter.
They're settling because Iowa's going under the screen, so they have the room to shoot the ball, but you have to be practicing those shots and consistently getting the fall if you're going to take that in a game with confidence.
Kate Martin trying to go back to Caitlin Clark, who's double-teamed on the baseline, got through. Beautiful look. Stuelke couldn't finish, and it's ripped away by Brown, but he gave it back. Open Molly Davis for three. Like a great defensive play turned into an Iowa triple.
How about Molly Davis staying ready, always be shot ready. Hannah Stuelke getting an unassuming assist. Got to walk into it, make it look pretty here early in Rutgers.
Tries the three. So they're getting open looks, but for a team that doesn't shoot a ton of threes, do you like those shots?
No, well, Iowa's doing a great job of forcing those open threes because that's not something that's Rutgers' strong suit. The Scarlet Knights have to find a way to work on getting to the basket, and you also see
Brown plays a ton of minutes, but she's going to get a lot more minutes because of the 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes to Destiny Adams. Backdoor to Clark. Nice help defense. Sharon Goodman in the game, got it back. $9.95 a month at BigTenPlus.com.
Multi-view is an awesome option, by the way.
Be honest, how many TVs or views have you watched at once of anything you've ever watched?
I mean, I don't have a great attention span, so it doesn't work well, but it's a cool concept.
Foul from behind on Bates. Clark was in the act of shooting, so Caitlin Clark will be at the free throw line again. You know, and she's struggling from the floor, right? It's not that often that you see Caitlin Clark start a game 0-4. And so getting her to see the ball go through the net here, not the greatest thing.
Clark likes to start out the game as well, trying to get to the basket, because if she can establish a driving rhythm, it opens up her outside shot. And now the defense has to take a step off of her, and she has that room to maneuver. So you go till you stop and feel the defense on your back. It's a perfect opportunity to keep going towards the rim. Good pull-up.
Goodman in the post. Tough move.
Really effective.
They're on the defensive end with the block as well. Now, personnel's different for this Hawkeyes team that went to the championship last year. You lose Monica Sanano, you lose Kenna Warnock, you lose those players up front. They're a little bit maybe more athletic, though, with how they go 4 and 5. And there's Caitlin Clark. Thompson, the freshman's really coming along, finding her confidence, more comfortable with the pace.
I love how fearless she is as well. It's almost good as a freshman to make some mistakes and play a little too fast. You just have to not care about your mistakes.
Crashing the boards, it's Affolter with the floater. Well,
He's up for the Scarlet Knights.
That is just her 5th triple of the season. Good help for 3. I mean, we can make the point all we want. We got to get back. Goodman pointed off the glass. Rutgers only shot 11 threes on Tuesday night. They have already taken 8 here in the quarter. Affolter had a wide open. Gabbie Marshall took the underneath. Blocked. Clark there to clean it up.
Going to the basket. I love her ability to change speeds on the go. Just that little hesitation forces the defense to come out of its stance.
Kate Martin again drew the help. What a pretty pass. That's right at Goodman, no foul. Oh, behind the back. Oh, the pass. No, an offensive foul. Wave off the bucket, an offensive foul called on Caitlin Clark. That doesn't take away from the moves. Doesn't take away the 2 points, though.
That was a heck of a move. What a pass. Jillian Herder was right there on the spot. And Clark frustrated. Clark got warned on.
Petticord drills the triple.
Rutgers can hit threes. It's going to force Iowa to have to come out on the perimeter. Then they're going to have more room to maneuver and get to the rim.
They only hit 5 a game. They have hit 3 so far here in the opening 9+ minutes. Davis for 3. She drills her. Again, Molly Davis got an open-looking transition earlier and then just sitting in the corner.
The biggest thing for Iowa is finding somebody not named Caitlin Clark or Hannah Stuelke to step up consistently and score. Davis played such a great floor game in that second half against Michigan State. Really impressed with her leadership so far. And look, you have 2 point guards on the floor for Iowa between Molly Davis and Caitlin Clark. Molly Davis is a natural point guard.
They can milk this all the way near the end. About a 1-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Entertaining first 10 minutes. 6-point game. It's in the hands of Clark. Down to 4. Going to work. Into the lane. Open Martin. That's a triple. And there's the horn. And they will wave off the total here in the first quarter, too.
Rutgers making Caitlin Clark work for every bucket she's got. No logo threes yet, but she's still getting things done here in Piscataway. Clark too is unprecedented. The way that she plays the game, it's so exciting because of the dramatics that come with the logo threes and her passing ability, her quickness. We don't talk about her athleticism enough. Clark can get to the basket so quickly. She can turn on the Jets and go.
Stuelke's fouled, count it. And Brown sends her to the line for a 3-point opportunity, and they are going to have to figure out how to deal with as many teams around the country. But they're struggling with the penetration.
Iowa does such a good job of reading each other when the penetration comes. So Stuelke just lurks right there in the short corner. There's no one in a red jersey around her, right to the eye-line side of her teammate. That's an easy bucket for Iowa.
Herder back on the floor. She sat for all of 15 seconds.
Well, the Hawkeyes also need to keep getting the ball inside with Destiny Adams on the bench right now, who does a really good job of defending the post for Rutgers. She's in foul trouble.
13 rebound, 4th double-double of the season. Caitlin Clark finally drills a 3. Got a hoist. Tough shot, didn't get it to go. In transition, good defense.
Took a charge on her down on this end earlier in the first quarter, then got a steal, and then hit a transition 3. No one stopped her.
Now, Rutgers has taken as many threes here in the first 11.5 minutes of this ballgame as they did in 40 on Tuesday. Martin, nice footwork. The shot clock, Thompson, tough shot. Just leading the game. What a find! This is as good as it gets. In transition on the move.
I mean, boom, leading Kate Martin to the basket. She doesn't even have to break stride. Fantastic job, and here's another look. boom, in midair. Caitlin Clark, when she has the ability.
Right off the bench, Erica Lafayette launched the three. Caitlin Clark, 12 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. She was 1 rebound and 1 assist shy of a triple-double in Iowa's last trip to this building about 2 years ago. Does have 13 in her career. Got around Davis into the corner, was deflected. Down to 1 to shoot. Feuerbach struggles. Davis didn't hit the rim.
Stuelke on her back, so she had the advantage when she turned toward the rim in the finish.
Sold out Jersey Mike's Arena. Massive crowd. Big opportunity here on a Friday night in New Jersey. Can Rutgers get some momentum and chip away at this double-digit deficit? And a foul called on Herter underneath. 6th player of the year in the conference. Not on the all-freshman team, though.
She was 6th woman of the year, though.
I know.
In the Big Ten.
You'd think that that would also equal the all-freshman team.
You would think that, yes.
Feuerbach splits the pair.
Caitlin Clark into their 2-man game. It is elite because of how well they move with each other.
Clark with numbers, finds Affolter. And Iowa
Clark always provides that.
With a good box out. They have not allowed Rutgers to get on the offensive glass. The Scarlet Knights only have 2 offensive rebounds. Thompson just stalked the painted area and put that shot up.
I like Thompson's game. She's fearless. She can hit in the mid-range. She gets her teammates opportunities.
Herter swiped down, so she picks up a quick second foul, too.
And just the other day, Coach talks to Lisa and says, "You starting to get it?" She said, "Yeah, the game's slowing down for me." Coach said, "Look at the calendar. What time of year is it?" It's January. It takes time as a freshman when you come to the next level to adjust to the place with a certain level of physicality. It's unbelievable the adjustment you have to make. Lisa Thompson's able to do that.
And playing massive minutes, right? Herter got trapped, and she could not get the ball out of there. Clark got into the paint, used the watching her everything she does, and she's painted off.
Well, even her teammates are watching her back here. Little hesitation, go, but Sharon Goodman clearing a path for number 22.
Team Big Ten Player of the Year. Davis has hit a couple of threes, showed some range. Goodman, the offensive putback.
She was able to stay with it and eventually got the opening she needed for the shot.
Scarlet Knights 0-3 in conference play. Had a great game at Purdue, just a point. Emotional on the sideline and can only, at the moment, she can't even watch. Her hand is in her hand.
It's so frustrating as a player to get called for a charge, especially in a foul situation where you're now in that foul trouble on the bench.
Rutgers has foul trouble. Herter has a couple as well. Clark checked the clock. What moves? Nice recovery. Rutgers right on its season average in terms of made threes tonight. They're in that 4 to 5 range every game. Clark around the screen. Too hot for Goodman. 3 again. You're not going to get a look more open than that.
Look that open. You have to shoot it with confidence. Rutgers need to keep trying to get into the paint, get those touches, try to get to high percentage areas on the floor or get to the foul line.
Clark, her eyes put up on the glass. Affolter cleaned it up. Shoulders are shrugged, heads are down a little bit as they went to that huddle.
The Hawkeyes have 9 offensive rebounds. Nobody is even close enough to Sydney Affolter to try to box her out. She sneaks in the back door.
Court tries the 3. And again, to your point from earlier, they're taking all these threes because Iowa's packing the lane.
Rutgers is really good when they can get the ball at high percentage areas. Iowa doesn't want them to be able to do that.
Well, look, and you go into a game against Iowa, you know you have to score, but the other part is you have to be sound defensively, and neither of those things have really happened here in the first 20 minutes.
When you can't allow Iowa to have second chance opportunities, they're so good offensively. You see Gabbie Marshall gets another one to go. Confidence.
Oh, she's a career 39% three-point shooter who's shooting 25% this year. Trying again. Shot clock turned off.
Iowa can play fast even when Caitlin Clark isn't in the game. How about Hannah Stuelke from the opposite side, finding Gabbie Marshall, who's starting to shoot the ball with a lot more confidence. Stuelke once again gets the board. I mean, right now we are seeing teamwork at its
coming up after the break. It's the All-State halftime report. Start the game, but then she got going.
Caitlin Clark, even when she isn't able to score at a high level, she started out the game 0 for 4. She's still able to impact the game in other ways, getting out the ball to her teammates in transition, defensively being in the right position. She's constantly thinking at such a high level, but her ability to find her teammates in the open floor makes her such when she is impacting the game with her assist numbers.
Tonight, that assist number is at 6 with 7 rebounds. In the Minnesota game, she became the first player, man or woman, to ever have 3,000 points, 900 assists, and 800 rebounds.
You have to still be able to do your job, stay nice and big down low, and create those opportunities.
Now look, you're down 25 coming out of the locker room. So a veteran in college basketball.
And in this league, the way the transfer portal is, you have to find players that have that experience at a high level, that have won games, and that know what it's like to compete for the longevity of a whole season. New York as a team, check that, 33. Regardless, they have to continue trying to get paint touches so that it opens up more offensively for the Scarlet Knights to move.
Stuelke being pushed and shoved, and the whistle and the foul on Brown.
I love Stuelke's ability to embrace contact. Even though there's a lot of physicality down low, she's still finding a way to get the position she wants. And she's done a good job of keeping her balance.
Back to Clark. Triggered the inbound. Tough turnaround. You'd think that rule wouldn't apply if Caitlin Clark, when she's the inbound, or play in the paint the whole time, right? Kate Martin was playing a solid 5-6 feet off of Destiny Adams, who has only taken 3 triples all year. Clark got around. The foul on Herder. They'll count the bucket.
Often Rutgers has allowed Caitlin Clark to get to the basket. I mean, one-on-one, the help side just shows, doesn't even try to stop the ball, and she just keeps going all the way to the end. You have to throw multiple bodies at Caitlin Clark when she gets going downhill. She's so crafty when the help side defense comes, and she has the ability to read the secondary defender after the primary defender. So that communication has to be there for Rutgers. They must cut off angles for Clark when she goes to the basket.
We're talking about a generational talent, so you understand what we're talking about.
She's trying to drive towards the baseline, cut off the angle so she doesn't have anywhere to go forward. You want her to move east to west, not north-south.
Got it back, kicks it out. Martin for 3. Throw to Adams. No foul, and almost gave up her 4th. Nobody picked up Kate Martin in transition. 12 makes. Stuelke again in transition. Marshall poked it away. Got it back for 3. Hustle for Gabbie Marshall, but Kate Martin on the defensive end and then all the way to the other end of the floor.
She was the furthest person back, practically on the opposite baseline. She just ran 94 feet to get a layup.
Cornwell under the basket, a little bit too far. Iowa heading towards what would be a 12th consecutive win. And that was knocked out of bounds, which will send us to a timeout. You've heard this a lot this year, but Clark to Martin.
Well, if you're going to run 94 feet, you better reward your teammate. Kate Martin turning on the Jets for the finish.
Petticourt misses the 3. The security, the intensity, all of the different things that surround what is one of the biggest, forget college, one of the biggest stars in American sports right now. And a jump ball, right? It's a 26-point game here in the third quarter. And like it was at Wisconsin when they went there in early December and fans were waiting 3 hours before the gates open and freezing temperatures and jam-packed here. Arenas are sold out all across the Big Ten. Clark for three, hits again. Destiny Adams got low. And again, this gets to that point of the stardom, though, that we have become so accustomed to Caitlin Clark doing what Tuesday was, right? 40 points, buzzer beater from the logo. That a ho-hum 25-point, 8 rebounds, 7 assists night, which is as special as it comes, kind of feels a little bit like it's just a regular game.
Are you bored? Are you not entertained?
No, I'm just saying.
It's almost as if she's spoiled a nation with these statistics
No
that she's
question.
put up. How about Kate Martin taking it to the basket? That's another player from Iowa that doesn't get talked about enough, but Kate Martin has done absolutely all of the dirty work for the Hawkeyes over the course of her career.
Rolls out for Thompson. Clark, foot on the gas, all the way to the bucket. She just took it.
Caitlin Clark once again showing up in a big way in the scoring column of the stat sheet. Nobody even tries to get by her. Turns on the Jets, gets it to go.
Not even short of her 10 feet. Aspect up 2. Called there for her second foul. It was the block, though, against Michigan State in the last minute. Right, everyone focused on the game-winning shot, but the block on the defensive end allows for that to matter.
My jaw dropped to the floor. It was unbelievable, and it was loud, too.
A tough drive. You know, they can say this feels, we're not paying attention to Caitlin Clark, we're not paying attention. They know who's here. They know what tonight is. And they knew it going in. Clark travels.
Well, I cannot wait for that Wisconsin, or excuse me, that Nebraska. There's a lot of red teams in the Big Ten. That Nebraska-Indiana game. Great battle of the bigs between Mackenzie Holmes and Alexis Markowski.
Another assist. Affolter 6 the free throw. Iowa has topped 100 points 4 times this season.
Nebraska's really good. The Big Ten in general is good. Michigan State took it down to the wire with Iowa, and the Spartans are a team I think that could potentially finish in the top 4 in this league because of how many veterans they have on their team. Look out for the Spartans.
Trying to finish the third quarter. Clark on the bench. Molly Davis with the ball in her hands, down to 1. And never got it off. Got the 8 assists tonight, and the triple-double watch is on in the fourth quarter.
Well, keep the triple-double watch on. How about threading the needle, making it look theatrical? Hannah Stuelke, by the way, one of the top finishers in the league. Everybody where to go. But she does so much, the type of player that you hate to play against, one on your team. Lisa Buter loves her, some Kate Martin.
Check that 9th assist. So Caitlin Clark on the floor in a 36-point game, 1 assist shy of what would be her 14th career triple-double, second all-time in college basketball. There's the pass, there's the assist. It just, the difficulty of some of the passes she makes, she just makes look so easy.
Well, that's a hard pass to make, a lob pass with Stuelke on the move. And trying to get the ball to where only Stuelke can catch it. That's what's so key about when you get the ball inside to a post player. You have to make it so it's away from the defense, and the post player has the ability to catch and make a move at the rim.
Well, and she makes passes like Patrick Mahomes does, all angles of her body, right? And she was there Christmas Day.
She was, and she's a massive Chiefs fan, so I'm sure she will appreciate the fact that you compared her to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, well, if we get a chance to talk to her after the game, we'll ask her. Davis, nice hesitation, good kick out. Extra pass, Marshall for 3. And she's
level is going to be massive for the Hawkeyes for spreading the floor, having multiple people step up. And
threes coming into this game, and a 25% shooter after being a 39% shooter in her career.
Great job by Cornwell creating that space for herself to have enough room to get the shot up.
Martin, and she's fouled.
Oh.
She went straight through the cameras. helped her up, and they'll lop that over.
Kate Martin played football when she was in 4th grade, and not just like the quarterback position, she played like all the other positions where you had to like, you know, tackle and nitty-gritty and whatnot. So her flying into the stands like that and getting up like it's nothing is the least surprising thing I've seen.
Yeah.
She is so tough.
Grew up in Edwardsville, Illinois, southern part of Illinois.
She played linebacker, quarterback, punter, and kicker in 4th grade. Tackle football.
She's played a lot of basketball too. I mean, between her and Gabbie Marshall, the amount of games those two have played in Hawkeye uniform, and the COVID year, the extra year of eligibility, the whole thing. The two of the top 5 in terms of active games played in the country. The reason the continuity, right? Coming off the national championship there with a chance to win it in the final seconds.
Well, Rutgers came out and actually did decent in the first quarter. It just came down to the fact that they allowed Iowa to have way too many second chance opportunities, and the Hawkeyes blew the game open.
Corner, the open 3 for Feuerbach. No.
Petticore does so many good things for Rutgers, but she allows the Scarlet Knights to play fast, makes great decisions with the ball in her hands.
Had to kick it across the court, and Destiny Adams knocked that out of bounds. And for Rutgers too, right, chance to regroup. They will have Ohio State on the road coming up. Tough spot for them before welcoming Penn State here to this building in 8 days.
And that's the problem with the Big Ten. There's no easy game on the schedule for anyone. You look at a team like Rutgers who just took it down to the wire with Purdue. They're still scary, even though this game not going their way at all. It's in the 90s. I mean, you have teams in the Big Ten that can flat out play. There is no given wins. Yeah. You name it, you can get right down the list.
Addie O'Grady's getting some time here in the 4th quarter. Davis, good penetration, and the floater is there.
For Iowa, because when she's able to score and defend the way she does, the best two-way player on Iowa, that's when the Hawkeyes become so dangerous.
Yeah, and the other part, you know, you mentioned the defensive end for her, the chance to let that develop and blossom even more while you're struggling on the offensive end. Gives you the time to build that confidence back up.
And Gabbie Marshall is so mature as a player, and it's because she's had, you know, time as a senior now to get those reps under her belt, but she is so committed to being the best on-ball defender on the team. She takes a ton of pride in scouting the best player on the other team, what their tendencies are, and she wants to shut them down. She loves
the second quarter, hoist the 3. Taylor McCabe, the board for Iowa as we approach 4 minutes to go. Addie O'Grady running the floor, and she'll go back to the line for an opportunity at 3.
Iowa is known to have dominant post players, and Addie O'Grady is one that's continuing to develop under associate head coach Jan Jensen. She gets out runs, keeps the ball nice and high. And Addie O'Grady did a really great job last year in that Final Four game against South Carolina. Came in, gave valuable minutes for Monica Sinano and Fitzgerald, who's right there to the right of Lisa Bluter as well. But this is an Iowa team that values trying to establish that inside-outside basketball that's so key to success. She's a dominant rebounder as well. And I'm excited about these freshmen that Rutgers has between Jillian Herder, Lisa Thompson. These are some really talented youths that are just going to get used and get better in playing in the Big Ten as they continue to get reps.
Traveling call.
Her ball handler with Lisa Thompson, and Kaylin Smichael can also handle the ball. So there's a really strong, solid backcourt here. Rutgers is going to continue to improve, and they're going to learn a lot from this game.
A chippy on the floor.
Destiny Adams is so strong when she goes in the paint. I love how she's always on balance, shoulder squared to the basket. She's so good when it comes to getting that positioning underneath the rim.
4 different Scarlet Knights in double figures. They are right around their season average in scoring. Just wasn't there on the defensive end tonight. Bigger had it ripped away and got it back. Gyamfi for three. There's Kenise Johnson, freshman from Joliet, Illinois, out to McCabe. Knocks it in.
Remember Melissa Mosley? It's a league. Any given night, the parity is unbelievable.
Well, and Rutgers doesn't get back-to-back home games till Valentine's Day. You know, so it's you get one in this building and then you head to the Midwest. You get one in this building and then you head on the road again. So that part of it too. And it's starting to look like a wrestling match on the mat here at the end of this ball game. And
great execution by Rutgers out of the timeout.
Which will give us the final 10 seconds here inside Jersey Mike's Arena. And Iowa will dribble it out. Hawkeyes win a 12th consecutive game. They come on the road and they beat Rutgers by 34 here tonight. 5th game this year, scoring 100 or more, 2nd most in college basketball, and Caitlin Clark, a 14th career triple-double here on the road tonight.
And 28 team assists, nonetheless. This was a team effort. Multiple players scoring in double figures. And this is when Iowa's at its best. Clark doesn't have to get 40 for the team to be successful. It's when other people step up and score in double figures when Iowa becomes unguardable.
Well, to your point, she scored 40 on Tuesday night, and they needed a buzzer beater to win it down the stretch, plus some late clutch free throws as well. They didn't really need much of that. It was a 6-point game after the first quarter, and then they opened things up and cruised the rest of the way.
And credit the way Rutgers came out to start this game. Got into some foul trouble with Destiny Adams having to...
Hawkeyes improved to 15-1 on the year, 4-0 in conference play. They will take the trip to Purdue